then that to life. So it will affect our apa ni our inventory level to avoid the apa ni potential stock out. For example, we have to increase our safety stock ni, dia punya buffer tu. So that is a cost also to the company. And accessibility, transport cost and time. So do this apa ni transportation can deliver direct to our premise, for example. Kalaulah kita order and they could not deliver, for example, so it will we will incur another cost. The capability, special service requirement, product require control temperature. Some product they have they need special punya ni. Macam ada lah kalau kita nak order, we have katalah the COVID-19, the current punya ni, in term of logistic punya issues. For the Pfizer punya ubat, they require a very low punya negative berapa puluh, 70 ke berapa for the storage. So that is that is another thing that we have to do things kadang-kadang it will add to the cost of transportation dan sebagainya. Transporting or heavy and oversized cargo. Nak transport heavy oversized cargo ni yang selalunya just in a container saja, but sometimes kita import, we have to handle a transformer for the tenaga nasional. Macam mana kita nak handle? Hari itu ada student logistik, ada seorang tu dia kerja dengan Megalift. Megalift ni dia expert in handling the heavy and oversized cargo. Juga boleh masuklah tengok macam mana dia punya website-nya, tengoklah what type of equipment that you have, what are their activity dan sebagainya. Ada student UEM yang kerja with the Megalift ni. Kalaulah nak transport heavy ataupun oversized cargo ni, okay, they provide, the Megalift is a company lah, they provide this kind of service, they can handle dia punya produk-produk yang size yang lain daripada yang biasa ni. And security, safety stock and stock out, satu itu jugalah yang ni dia effect je kadang-kadang our shipment subject to hijack by mana-mana individu dan sebagainya. Macam kat Penang hari tu ni dia hijack a container full of microchips worth more than 6 million just to hijack. So kalaulah the customer ni, kalau produk dia kena hijack, so dia punya impact dia will be a stock out punya cost. So sometimes we have to keep our stock, safety stock high because of the security reason ni. So yang ni tracking ni, truck, lori has advantage on more service related activity because truck ni they can provide the door-to-door service. Accessibility, they don't have any problem compared to the other mode. Kalau for the water transport, for the vessel, the ship ni, the last punya destination is at the berth dekat pelabuhan, dekat dermaga, but they cannot deliver direct to the katalah Kelang tu dekat Changlot. The last stop is probably the Penang port. Then they have to use the trucking punya company. Because trucking company ni they have the advantage, they can access to any premise dan sebagainya. Speed, transit time, enable lower inventory, lower level. Sometimes because of the speed, we as a company we can keep our stock low because we are assured that they can deliver. Macamlah kalaulah supplier tu dekat Penang, kita dekat Changlun umpamanya, within 2 hours they can deliver our shipment punya. So we don't have to worry. Connection to the other mode, yang ni advantage dia lah connection to other. The trucking ni become the universal connector. Universal connector ni maksud dia kapal dia boleh pergi kat pelabuhan, kalaulah the shipment through the air punya transport, air freight punya sampai dekat airport, dia become universal connector because the aircraft tu cannot deliver direct to the customer. Begitu juga dengan rail, the rail yang kat sini dia paling dekat Arau ataupun dekat Kok Diang ataupun dekat Anak Bukit itu. So they still need to rely on the truck ni, on the lorry ni to deliver goods to the final consumer ni, final punya destination. It become a universal connector. It can carry its small carrying capacity. Sometimes it can provide inventory advantage, and dia kata lower damage rate dan rate. Mungkin dari segi handling dan sebagainya, dari segi transportation dan sebagainya. Because rail ni kadang-kadang bergerak, dia goyang betul, macam truck ni mungkin dia stabil sikit. Tak tahu lah yang ni yang boleh dapat macam mana. This is from mungkin they conducted a study, they found that the trucking punya handling of cargo ni better, it will cause less damage than rail. Kemudian we move on the Inland Clearance Depot, ICD. ICD ni is a port lah, is a port, pelabuhan, but it's an inland port. Inland port ni pelabuhan dalam kawasan, dia tak dekat dengan to the macam seaport tu. It's an inland. So because of the inland port, pelabuhan ni pelabuhan daratan, they are also called as a dry port. Macam ada Ipoh Cargo Terminal, this is the ICD lah. Kemudian we have the Sungai Wei Inland Clearance Depot, Nilai Inland Depot, Segamat Inland Port, Batu Pahat Container Terminal, Terbedu Inland Port dan sebagainya. The one that they're going to build is another one yang Bukit Kayu Hitam tu. Bukit Kayu Hitam dia akan buat satu lagi dry port, Inland Clearance Port. Dia macam port dia function macam port juga. The function same as the seaport. Dia Inland Clearance Depot ni is a freight terminal located. Freight ni means that it handle goods lah. It handle goods, barang-barang. Terminal yang located away, yang berjauh daripada seaport. Whereby goods are temporarily placed prior to custom clearance. Sampai the goods ni, kapal sampai berzinc at the wharf tu, they do the unloading and they transfer direct to the dry port ni ICD ni. Dan mungkin because of they want container yard tu tak cukup besar, they don't have adequate space, for example, especially during the peak season ni. Normally dia kata it provides storage. Perkhidmatan dia kata penyimpanan area for most kind of goods such as general goods, bulk cargo and containerized cargo and custom clearance, and they also have the custom clearance activity. Sampai kat sana mungkin dia simpan barang kat ICD ni, kalau nak keluar you have to pay the taxes dan sebagainya. Okay, this is the purpose of the ICD. Is to introduce particularly to accelerate and to clear cargo movement at port. To the ICD. By doing this, congestion and delay of clearing goods at port could be eliminated or reduced. Mungkin the area is not enough dan sebagainya because they want to reduce the congestion at port dan sebagainya. Another option is to have the ICD ni. And they have your ICD, okay, you do the custom clearance at the ICD dan sebagainya. Or we keep temporarily before the importer ni clear dia punya goods dan sebagainya. And they put it in the ICD. Begitu juga nak export import, both activity can at the ICD ni. So handle good for export dan import, begitu juga import dan export sama je. In Malaysia ICD is designed license under the Customs Act 1967. So kita buat ICD ni. ICD ni. Kemudian Acts and Regulation. APTA. Kita ada APTA Transportation yang to control the land transport punya ni, Road Transport Act. Kita ada Road Transport Act 1987, tuan-tuan punya license. Ada dalam Road Transport Act 1987 ni. Dia regulate the motor transport. Macam saya kata, regulate the motor transport and traffic in street and other things that have linkages with road and vehicle. So, dia ni. Satu lagi, kita ada Institute of Road Safety, MIROS punya, Road Safety Research Act. Yang ni for the safety, yang they do the research dan sebagainya. Adalah dia punya ni, dia ada ni. Dia sebut yang tu, detail about the MIROS punya formation, apa perlu ada, apa perlu buat, keahlian dia macam mana, all in the yang ni for the MyROS. If ada group yang buat road safety ni, you can go to the MyROS punya website. They have the data on the road safety dan sebagainya. Kemudian we have in addition to Road Transport Act ni, we have the Road Transport Rules lagi lah saya explain. Kemudian kita ada Environmental Quality Act yang ni under the Ministry of Environment and Water ni. So they have the Environmental Quality Act yang ni atau kualiti alam sekitar. AKAS 127 ni yang check normally di Jabatan Alam Sekitar, they will do inspection on the motor vehicle ni. Together with the JPJ dan juga polis nak cek asap, lepasan asap, the smoke from the tailpipe ni produced by a vehicle ni. Kalau you exceed dia ada certain punya measurement ni, you will be fined. Kemudian yang saya kata road transport rule ni dia ameni, tak payah nak apa, just mention ni saja. Kaedah-kaedah topik leader, dia akan bagi tahu kaedah-kaedah lalu lintas dan sebagainya. Dia perkenalkan dari semasa ke semasa. Katalah tiba-tiba wajib pakai topik leader, dulu tak wajib 1973 ni depa ni so government dah start dah. Kemudian antara 80 berapa motor have to switch on dia punya lampu tu dan sebagainya. Ada dalam road transport rule ni. Involve 50 rule related to road transport sector. Dia kata detail the principal acts road transport act nanti dia detailkan and subject to amendment from time to time by the government ni. So dia improve, kadang-kadang dia masukkan apa dalam ni. Kaedah-kaedah kerana memutus pendaftaran, lesen memandu, semua ada dalam ni. Kemudian on the driving hours pula. The driving hours. Yang ni, no driver shall drive a good vehicle or public service vehicle. A good vehicle ni, the freight punya vehicle lah. Kenderaan lori, yang bawa lori, van apa ni, yang bawa barang ni. And public service vehicle. Public service vehicle ni bawa taxi, bawa bus ni. On any road or highway, di atas jalan ni, more than 4 coaches. So you drive, your driver, kata our driver for example, they should not drive. They are not allowed to drive 4 consecutive hours. 4 jam berturut-turut without resting. Tanpa berehat ni. Or more than 300 km from where he was driving. So 300 vehicle is the limit. Then you have to stop, take a rest dan sebagainya. So normally what the company do is to have a second driver. Kalaulah kita daripada from Changlun to Johor Bahru, it takes more 4 hours to arrive, katalah 10 hours. So normally the company ni will have a second driver. Dia kata a requirement to have a second driver, pemandu kedua for a journey that exceed the time ni and distance. So the first driver to be replaced by the second. Okay, that's all. The driver of good vehicle or public vehicle is limited to driving for a period of 8 hours. In a day ni, in 24 hours ni, the maximum driving hours is 8 hours. They have to stop. They have just 8 hours dalam ni. That is for the safety. Kadang-kadang the driver ni dia update because based on the trip. So the government want them to have a good enough rest, for example, rehat yang mencukupi. So they have to take a rest. After within 24 hours you rest, then you can drive back. Dalam 24 jam, 8 jam. And to have a logbook. Dalam bus, lorry, they have to have a logbook on movement of vehicle and replacement of the driver. Kalaulah they have a second driver, bus express umpamanya, they have stop at Ipoh tukar pemandu. They have to record dalam logbook ni. In case kalau apa-apa accident, they can identify who was the driver before the accident ni took place ni. Kadang-kadang tak boleh sebab bila remuk depan dua-dua katalah meninggal umpamanya, so dia punya dah terpelanting mana, tak boleh, they could not identify who are the driver. So by having a logbook, okay, dia tahu berhenti kat mana, rehat kat mana, buat apa. The logbook ni has detail everything lah. Kalau tulis, pergi tukar driver kat mana dan sebagainya. Macam nanti kita pergi praktikal, nanti ada logbook. Logbook ni kita tulis of apa ni, our daily apa kita kena record, we have to record our daily activity dalam logbook. Itu terkenal. Kemudian routine inspection of commercial vehicle by Puspakom. Routine inspection ni inspection yang kita yang government wajibkan setiap 6 bulan. All commercial vehicle ni kenderaan perdagangan lah. Mean that bus, lori, taxi have to undergo 6 month punya routine inspection. Routine inspection ni pemeriksaan berkala lah. Pemeriksaan berkala. Maksudnya setiap 6 bulan lori apa ke, lori tanah ke, lori kontainer ke, lori minyak tanker ke, apa ke, all have to go to Puspakom. Puspakom ni, it was previously under the government. But later they privatized, become another entity. They do the inspection, they will conduct inspection for every vehicle. Even for the private vehicle, macam kereta, kita nak katalah kita nak jual kereta umpamanya, orang lain nak beli pun have to go to the Puspakom. They will check cermin retak ke, macam lori ni dia akan check tayar botak ke, semua dia check. Berapa inci dia the track lah, dia punya bunga, kita sebut bunga tu lah. Dia ada dia punya calculation lah, dia check. Kalau botak, they will not approve dan sebagainya. You have to check before they are allowed on to be on road again. Dia kata check all important part of the vehicle to make sure they meet the required legal and standard limit. Periodical inspection as proactive approach to reduce road accident and safeguard the life of driver, passenger and other the third party punya. Itu debat yang Puspakom buat dulu, kita tak ada. Sekarang ni every 6 months kena pergi. That's why kadang-kadang dia kena cat balik, dia buat balik, dia nampak elok balik dan sebagainya. Regulatory body, there are many, as we mentioned apa ni, yang general one tu, sama lah. Ministry of Transport, Home Affairs, Transport ni, JPJ, Border Road Transport ni, Ministry of Home Affairs ni, Police, Ministry of Environment, Water, as we mentioned just now, Kualiti Alam Sekeliling ni, ASAP, pemeriksaan ASAP, Ministry of Work for Infrastructure, then we mentioned last class on the SPAT and APAT before the government form SPAT, then later they reduce the function of SPAT just to be they form APAT to replace the SPAT punya function. Before it's answerable direct to the Prime Minister, the Suruhanjaya ni, but now it's answerable to Ministry of Transport. Dulu ada Commercial Vehicle Licensing Board. Previously yang kita kata Lembaga Pelayanan Kenderaan Perdagangan, Commercial Vehicle LPKP. It was put under the Ministry of Entrepreneur and Cooperative Development dulu. Kemudian apa ni yang SPAT ni tak ada, ganti CLV tak ada, dia letakkan all the function of the CLV tu dalam bawah SPAT. But now under APAT, Entry of License, Enforcement, permit lah license ni, do the enforcement dan sebagainya. Vocational license kita lah. License kita nak operate ni lah. Any driver drive a good vehicle, truck, lori apa ni, ataupun passenger public transport, dia bawa barang-barang truck, lori ni, ataupun public passenger, maksud dia bus, taxi, need to possess a very good driving license, GDV. GDV ni for kalau bawa barang-barang, truck, lori kena ada GDV. Ni additional lah, kita ada D punya license, kemudian law ni kita kena ada GDV punya license. Public service vehicle license, PSV-nya kalau kita bawa taxi, kalau kita bawa e-hailing dan sebagai bus, kita kena ada PSV. In addition, dia kata to competent driving license, kita ada vocational license, satu lagi competent driving license yang D class. Tapi kalau lah macam truck, lori itu, it depend on the size of the truck, the capacity. Kalau the small truck ni macam van tu we just have the D. Kalau lah yang macam the container, dia punya prime mover tu, you have the E class. E pula dia ada macam-macam berat, bokor dan sebagainya. So you have to have this one. Okay, e-hailing driver tu tak payah. The Grab punya ni. My car, e-hailing driver. But now effective July 2009, all are required to have the PSV. Public Service Vehicle ni passenger punya ni. To get the vocational license ni, PSV, GDV ni, you have to go for the medical check-up. Setahun sekali kita kena renew. We can have to go for medical check-up. Okay, doktor check, tengok dia ni dari mental lah, dari ada penyakit serius ke apa ke. Kalau doktor kata tak boleh drive for PSB kan, terak kalori ke bas taxi tu, tak boleh lah. So it's all depend on the evaluation by the medical punya practitioner ni. So dia check, sebab kadang-kadang kita tak mahu dia orang yang tak stabil dari segi dia punya pemikirannya to drive taxi, e-hailing dan sebagainya, bas ke apa. Renewal on annual basis, tidak tahu. Part saya dah bagi tahu lah, tuan boleh baca lah. Take over the function of di lembaga pelaksana perdagangan. Okey, yang ni saya sikit. Dulunya anda di Commercial Vehicle Licensing Board, dulu yang saya kata di was under Ministry of Entrepreneur dengan Cooperative Development tu, they put CVLV ini under that ministry. Kemudian they have the Department of Railway. Yang ni concern Department of Railway ni deal with the MRT, LRT, the train punya services ni, the railway punya industri. Dan kemudian kita ada tourism vehicle pula. Dulunya license ni it was issued by the Ministry of Tourism. So we have a 3 different punya authority. Right? CVLB satu issue, kemudian Department of Railway satu lagi Ministry of Tourism. So government form di SPAT ni, tujuan dia ialah nak uruskan ni sebenarnya pengangkutan awam darat. Pengangkutan awam darat ni refer to land transport. Bukan maksud dia bas dengan kereta api dengan taksi sekali. Dia combine sekali. So that is dia punya reason dia. Nak letakkan, they want to place all these authorities just under one roof, one authority saja from the 3 different punya authorities. So government ni, bila government buat SPAT ni, CVLV function letak bawah SPAT. Kemudian Department of Railway tak ada lagi dah. All the issuing the construction, licensing of the railway, monorail ke, MRT ke, LRT ke, now you have to deal with this part. No more Department of Railway. Kemudian dulunya tourism vehicle, bas van, bas persiaran ni, license dia issued by the Kementerian Pelancongan, but now ni SPAT. Later APAT lah. Sekarang ni APAT lah, dah SPAT dah di commission dah tak ada dah, APAT lah maksud dia, APAT yang ni. So yang ni APAT take over. APAT kalau syarikat pengangkut tourism nak apply for permit for the bus, they have to get it from the APAT. License for the MRT 3 to operate umpamanya, after the construction semua, they have to get it from the APAT. So government di commission the SPAT Act nanti after the pilihan raya itu ni. Government plan to improve road, rail, passenger transport services in urban area. Yang ni the previous government punya plan, government transformation plan. Masa tu zaman Datuk Najib sebagai Perdana Minister, dia introduce. Saya bukan nak dari politik pun tak ada, just nak dari sebagai akademiknya. So how government at that time, they have a plan to improve urban. They identified many area, national key result area. One of the area is to improve the urban. Urban ni bandar lah, pengangkutan awam bandar, urban public transport pengangkutan awam. So G ni government transformation plan, national key result area. Government identified 7, if I'm not mistaken, 6 or 7 national key result area. One of them is to improve on the urban public transport. So tak ada lah the present government, kerajaan sekarang dia tak sambung lagi yang ni, dia tak buat. Dia tak tunjukkan how they have the initiative to improve the urban public transport ni. Okay, initiative by government to improve launched by the government in April 2009. Lapang ada ni, almost berapa dah, dekat 12 tahun dah. to support two main objectives of the GTP. Transform government to be more effective, delivery public service to the rakyat. We want to have a better transportation service to the rakyat. To move Malaysia forward to become an advanced society. Advanced, tak apalah di statement. So they have conducted two, carried in 2 phases. Dia dah berhenti lah. It's very good. They identified they have the target to achieve. Phase 1, GTP 1 for the period 2010-2012 dulunya. Kemudian phase 2, GTP 2, the period 2013 to 2015. Then they stop. They stop. They should continue with this NTRA because some of the criteria that they set tu tak lagi, they have not met the one that they set yet. So dia nak improve bagaimana? How they improve? Satu, they set the target. Raise the modal share to 13% in 2010 and 25% by 2012 during the morning peak in the Klang Valley. Macam mana dia government dia nak improve the urban public transport. Raise the modal share ni. Modal share ni dari segi kalau dekat KL umpamanya, dekat urban transport, maksudnya di KL ni more than mungkin masa tu 10% saja. More than 90% of those in KL they rely on their own punya vehicle, private car ni. So what government want to do is to improve this number. Maksudnya from sekarang ni only 30% guna public transport. Government want 10%. Government want to increase to 13% in 2010. Kita 2010. Kita ni government lancar dari segi 2009. 2010 dia kata okay, we want to achieve 30%. Those in Klang Valley ni they have to use further. We plan, we target them to use public transport. 30%. By 2012, 25% to use the public transport during the morning peak in the Klang Valley. Why? Because sekarang ni those in Klang Valley ni they rely heavily on their own transport. They will result in the traffic congestion dan sebagainya. So kalaulah government can encourage people to use public transport, kata 25%, 30%, up to 50% umpamanya, so the issue of the public traffic congestion ni can be bukan kata ni kita boleh kurangkan, can be reduced, bukan boleh hilang tapi kita boleh reduce. Then government have to improve reliability and journey time. Improve reliability. Daripada Ampang to KL dulu 1 jam lebih, but now journey time dia improve tu katalah half an hour umpamanya. How? Dia kena ada lah cara-cara dia. Reliability hari ni sampai elok pukul 7. Esok pukul 7.30 bas baru sampai. Kita the bus was late by 10 minutes, 15 minutes, tak reliable. Kadang-kadang bus tak ada dan sebagainya. So that is the thing yang kadang-kadang orang tak mau naik pengetahuan because of the reliability and the journey time ni. Kemudian we have government plan to enhance comfort and convenience for the public transport ni and improve accessibility and connectivity. Such the percentage of the population living 400 meter of public transport route increased from 63% to 75% in 2012. Yang ni memang dah cerita lama dah ni, sejak nak masuk the plan yang pernah dibuat oleh government ni. So mean that when you step out from your home, you just walk 400 meter saja. Because the bus station is they build just 400 meter the most within your home. So by doing this, we can encourage more to use the public transport. Leave your car, then you walk just 400 meter to the nearest punya bus stop. So senang. Kita ni kalau 1 kilometer lain sikit, 2 kilometer jauh, tak atraktif to the commuters ni. Kita tengok nak kena jalan 1 kilometer to the nearest. It is not attractive to us. So one way is to build dia punya distance. Kita punya bus stop tu dekat. Kita dah Pagi-pagi kita, biasalah pagi kita nak keluar rumah make up tebal 4-5 inci umpamanya. Jalan 1 kilometer peluh habis, masa tu make up kita pun dah hilang bah. So tak seronok lah orang nak tengok kita pun, Allah, make up dia ni dah pecah dan sebagainya. So kita tak mau naik bas lah, baik kita bawa kereta sendiri. So among initiative be implemented 5 bus expressway transit, study of bus lane and bus rapid transit network. They use underutilized punya expressway in Klang Valley ni, new pantai highway yang tak digunakan, dia turn as a bus expressway transit. Refurbish 634 bus stop, bus stop yang rosak, tempat duduk tak apa ni, dia improve, dia buat membaik pulih 634 bus stop and build 306 new covered bus stop. Malaysia ni hujan panas, so they have to have a covered bus stop, ada shelter, ada bumbung ni. So 634 ni pun ada juga bumbung dan sebagainya. So they want to attract, kita tunggu bas tak panas dan sebagainya. Then we have smart ticketing integration. One ticket we can use for the bus, for the LRT, for the MRT. Kita boleh pakai untuk the train sama, the train services. So there is a smart ticketing integration. There is a government punya plan to have a seamless punya travel. Tak payah kita nak kita naik bas nak pergi ke ni nak kena tukar sebab kita tak ada ni, nak kena beli another ticket dan sebagainya. So with one ticket ni we can travel everywhere in the Klang Valley. Banyak negara dah buat benda ni lah. Dulu masa saya dekat overseas dulu ni, they have, kita beli tiket naik bas, kemudian sampai kita nak naik kereta api ke, kita nak naik ferry ke, we can still use that bus, that ticket. Tunjuk tak ada masalah apa pun. Improving bus network. Bus network ni kita kena improve bus network kita. Dulu just a few taman, now we have more coverage dan sebagainya. Kemudian establishment of performance standard for operator. Operator ni rapid, we have to have, we don't set standard kat dia orang. We want to receive less complaint. The maximum complaint is berapa. If you have more complaint, exceed the number ni, we will penalize you by deducting dia monetary punya assistance dan sebagainya. You have to be punctual. Berapa, tolak pukul berapa sampai pukul berapa, even though you are operating in the city center. They have the performance standard that you have to, the operator need to follow. Other initiative, stepping up on enforcement ni, double parking kadang-kadang, increasing capacity of the KTM, monorail, Kelana Jaya. Dulu kita mungkin katalah we have just early morning ada 3 coach saja, but now we have 6-7 coach punya ni. Macam Kelana Jaya Ampang LRT line dulunya we just started operation with a 2-car punya ni, but now they add couple with another 2 cars punya train. So they increase the capacity. Itu juga dengan headway dia. Kalau kita miss, kita duduk kat Kelana Jaya sampai-sampai, Allah, dia lalu jalan dah. So we don't have to worry because the next train will arrive in just another minute during the peak hours tu. So we don't have to worry. Nak tunggu wait for another 10 minutes, 15 minutes, half an hour, no. You just wait for another 58 seconds. 1 minute, 60 second saja lagi. So that another train akan sampai. Kemudian establishment of integrated transit terminal. Begitu juga dengan physical integration of the station. Macam kita ada dekat KL Central, integrate transit terminal tu. Semua ada, they house all the public transport dalam satu building tu. Kita intercity datang daripada Alostar, nak balik ke Ampang rumah kita, just sampai dah KL Central, daripada KL Central kita naik perkhidmatan lain. So they have integrate, tak payah nak jalan jauh-jauh tu dan sebagainya. Okay, these are the achievement. These are the achievement. Public transport model share target 2010-15, they achieve 17. Okey, ni achieve the target. Kemudian target 2011 25%. Yang ni tak achieve. They only achieve 16.42. Target 2012 25%, they achieve only 20%. So at least kita tahu. So we know that, we did not achieve this target. What we should do to improve ni. To have more people to use the public transport. Ni during the peak hours, morning peak ni, berapa dia punya user dah. Okay, jumlah dia. Population residing within 400 meter. Dia ada dia punya ni. At least kita ada guidance kita. Weighted average ratio for public journey time to private journey time customer satisfaction. Bus load factor. Bus ni okay, yang ni 50% dah penuh. Yang ni dah sampai ni 96%, 87% penuh ni. So government okay, they have the data and they can make decision based on the data. Road safety index, days on road, 10,000 registered vehicle. 10,000 kenderaan mendaftar, yang mati 3.32 orang. Achieve 3.39. Macam 2012, mati hanya 2.8 daripada 10,000 kenderaan berdaftar. So, kalau 20,000 maksudnya 5.6 lah. Kalau 1 juta, multiply by ada 28. Kalau 1,000, 28 orang. Ya, betul tak? So, the achievement. Kemudian bus industry, we go by one by one. Bus industry ni, kita tengok bus industry. Bus industry, di Malaysia ni owned and operated by the private company. Setengah negara, they own by the government. But in Malaysia, daripada dulu, we owned and operated by the private company, especially for the express bus ni. Kecuali dia kata kenderaan bas mara, as we mentioned during the last class tu, that is just to fulfill the social punya obligation, just memenuhi tanggungjawab sosial kerajaan. To just for those who live in the remote rural area ni, kawasan pedalaman, so government still have to need to provide untuk memenuhi tanggungjawab sosial. Tak untung pun, memang tak untung. Bas ni kalau nak harap untung memang tak untung. Just nak bawa orang dan sebagainya. Government control the industry, as we mentioned. They control the fare, the schedule. Then they have the operator license, the permit. Tanpa permit ni, you cannot operate the bus. Satu permit, kedua fare, dan kedua schedule pun government control. Bus pula, dia ada dua. Satu express bus. Kita in Malaysia we call it express bus. Actually, express bus ni is intercity punya bus service. Antara bandar, is a long distance, jalanan jarak jauh. Kalau dah dalam kita punya government, they define kalau express bus ni, they serve more than 32 km. And then dia punya perkhidmatan lebih daripada 32 km is considered as express bus. For the stage bus ni, bus henti-henti lah, stage bus ni. Serve the urban and rural, rapid transit tu, di bandar, luar bandar dia ada stage bus. Kemudian, currently, it is a one-man operation. One-man operation ni maksud dia seorang saja. Dia lah issue tiket, dia lah drive bus. Dulu, during my time ni, it was dulu sekolah saya, zaman sekolah saya ni, 2 orang. One is the driver, just drive the bus ni, the vehicle ni. Another one is the conductor. Conductor ni, they will issue tiket. Collect the fare ni. That is the role. Satu bus, 2 orang. The driver and the conductor. In between tu, routes tu ada kadang-kadang ada inspector. Inspector come, they check. They come on board ni, they check. Okay, dia nak tengok. Does this the conductor ni issue the right ticket. Sometimes they issue the use punya tiket. Tiket punya kadang-kadang penumpang tiket dia tak buang, dia buang dalam bus. Konduktor ni ambil, dia issue the same ticket to the passenger. Setiap tiket tu ada number dia akan check, okay, this number sampai this number berapa. Oh, yang ni issue tiket dan sebagainya. So they want to avoid the issuance of the used ticket ni. So that's why they have the inspector. Dulu 3 orang lah, but now just one man. Driver saja nak masuk, dia akan tanya bayar tiket dekat dia. One man operation. Income bus kami ni dia dapat daripada fare, tambang, dan daripada luggage. Macam express bus they have, barangan ni dia kena lift. kita nak balik kampung umpamanya, nak barang kotak besar, you instead of the courier service ni, you can go to the bus kami, express bus kami. Di dekat Kangau umpamanya, the Transnational, okay, bagi. Dia akan charge lah. Kata dia kata RM20 ke RM40 kan. Okay, bagi, kemudian dia pick up, you can pick up at dia punya dia punya counter dekat Keramat ke dekat mana-mana ke. So they don't provide the direct delivery to your home, but you have to pick up at dia punya counter. Dia ada lah laluannya, dia tengok kat mana, okay, you can pick up dia punya laluannya. Discharge saya katalah contoh RM20 kotak besar ni. Normally dulu RM10 to the kami and RM10 to the drivers. Drivers tu kena split dua lah. Dia punya ada 2 orang lah. So that is the way dia punya ni. Kemudian dia boleh jual bas lama. Macam mana jual? Nanti tengoklah bas express lepas 10 tahun selepas ni dia jual kepada bas stage. Kemudian dia jual kepada bas sekolah dan sebagainya. Sebagai ni. Use spare part yang telah digunakan tu tak boleh pakai lagi tu. Dia akan jual timbang kaci umpamanya and use lubricant. Minyak-minyak yang telah digunakan pun dia perjual. That is a income to the company. Expenses pula, chassis ni nak kena beli chassis. Chassis ni rangka lah. Rangka. Bus normally government they allow for you to import the chassis. Bodywork you have to do in Malaysia. Because why? Because they want to encourage the bodywork industry in Malaysia. Provide employment dan sebagainya. Kita chassis lah. Tak ada seat, tak ada tingkap, tak ada bumbung, tak ada tepi, tak ada. Just rangka saja. Then you can only import chassis. Nak import MAN ke, nak import Scania ke, nak import Hino ke apa, you can. Then you do the bodywork. But this is another expensive. Dulu masa saya kerja dulu, chassis ni 100,000. It all depend lah. Kalau nak mahal, MAN, Mercedes, Volvo, apa tu mahal lah. Scania, kalau nak murah, Hino, Tata, that we can have a lower punya murah sikit. Bodywork, chassis ni 100,000. Bodywork pun dalam 100,000 lebih lah sikit lah. Ni lebih kurang, dua-dua ni lebih kurang. And aircon ni, Thermo King ke apa ni, 50,000. One bus, for one complete bus on road ni, you need to have 250,000. At least 250,000. But now, to have a bus ni mungkin dalam 600,000. You have to have 600,000. The lowest tu. And it can be katalah 1 million if you have a double deck bus 2 tingkat tu. Dia ada dia punya ni. Chassis. Government dulu ada lah few time je government dia allow for direct import ni. Bus biji. Masuk sini daftar jalan tu macam bus. Dulu ada Transnational punya executive coach. Ada 10 biji. They allow you import Mara to import direct from the Korea. The Daewoo. They use the Daewoo punya chassis. Masa dia pernah upgrade the bus service tu. Ada bus premium punya. Dia punya executive coach. Agak mahal. Ada stewardess to serve dan sebagainya. So that is the ni. Then the last one tu dia bagi bus Yunhong. Bus yang unik pakai tu. Dia allow for banyak lah. Berapa ratus ribu bus. Sebab di China tu bus daripada China yang Yunhong lah. Because to construct bus in China very cheap. Lepas tu itu government bagi. Banyak tahun lah government bagi for the imported of ni. Selalunya tak bagi because of they want to encourage the local punya bodywork industry. Syarikat pembinaan badan bus dalam negara. Kemudian for the freight, we have the prime mover, trailer, lorry. Vehicle class type, kita ada class type A. Yang ni you can transport of other parties for hire purpose. Vehicle that do business of transporting good of other parties of hire business. Maksud dia tengok kat lori tu dia ada A tu, maksud dia buat business bawa barang orang lain. Kalau container tu KA lah, selalunya KA. Tak apa, don't worry apa ni. Blackout. Tadi dekat UM pun tak ada blackout juga. Lah. Yang ni Fazilah kata masuk tak apa. Boleh masuk tak apa. Don't worry. KA ni kita tengok maksud dia yang ni bawa barang orang lain. Kalau bawa barang sendiri, you carry your own goods ni, that is lorry class C. Kat lorry tu dia ada besar tulis C. Yang tu dia kita tahulah, yang tu dia carry dia own punya goods nah. Dia punya own goods. Type of vehicle, there are many type. Tak payah nak hafal nah. You don't need to hafal, need to memorize all this. Saya takkan tanya apa least 5 rigid vehicle, least 5 trailer. No, I will not ask on you on it. Just nak tunjuk saja there are many type of vehicle. Rigid, yang ni trailer ni dia ada kepala dengan badan dia sambung lain lah. Yang ni rigid ni dia sekali. Selalunya dump truck lah, apalah. Okay, type of buses. Stage bus. Dia kata yang ni bus berhenti-henti lah. Normally this type of service vehicle stop to take or light passenger. Passenger need to push bell. Kita kena push tekan loceng to notify the driver that you want to stop to light the bus dan sebagainya. No? Kita bagi ni. Di Malaysia kena petik sekali kan, petik 2 kali you kena marah. Dia kata saya dengar tak pekak dia kata macam-macam. So very sensitive kalau kita petik 2 kali. Replacement 15 years from the date of registration. Umur dia 15 tahun ya. Dia pada tarikh pendaftaran bas tu nah. So after 15 years you have to sell your bus. Itu juga express bus ni. Express bus ni dia kata for distance not less than 32 km. Yang ni bas baru 10 tahun ya from the date of registration. Dulu government allow only 7 years. Di industri dia appeal. Dia kata 7 tahun tak dapat lagi apa dia punya untung dan sebagainya. So government extend another 3 years tu for the 10 years punya. Selepas 10 tahun, normally dia jual kepada stage bus punya company. They can run for another 5 years dan sebagainya. So dia punya ni. So kemudian dia jual pula dekat school bus. School bus buatlah sekolah. Kadang-kadang parent dia nak bus yang baru dan sebagainya. But dari segi practicality boleh sebab kalau bas baru you have to charge for a higher punya school bus punya fee, tambang yang mahal dan sebagainya. Bayangkan bas harga 500,000 juta you nak charge tambang bas 100-200 tak berbalik modal tak balik modal. So replacement employee factory yang ni bas kalau biru to carry factory, kemudian transit bus ni bas yang bawa ke hotel ke apalah, bas pengantara, kemudian minibus. Dia punya seating capacity tak lebih daripada penawar, charter bus, taxi cab. Taxi cari. Taxi apa beza dengan kereta sewa dengan taxi ni. Kemudian airport taxi pun ada. Airport taxi ni kita government kalau airport taxi when you sending someone from the airport to katalah Ampang. The return journey ni you cannot take. Government yang ni dia tak ada ambil. You cannot take passenger. You cannot pick passenger along the route. You kena ambil passenger daripada airport saja. Yang ni dia punya limitation nya. Itu juga dulu taxi. Taxi you can only kata taxi daripada KL. Taxi biasa ni. Okay, you can send the passenger to the airport but you cannot take passenger from airport to the town, to the other destination. But now ni dia kena tukar sebab apa? E-hailing pun dah boleh hantar pergi hantar pergi balik dan sebagainya. It's not fair for the other punya ni airport taxi dan juga city punya taxi ni. Taxi mewah, taxi expression bus dan sebagainya. Component of transport dia ada 4 kita mention hari tu. The way ni jalan. Kemudian jalannya kat Malaysia dia ada federal road. Federal road ni jalan persekutuan. Main build, dibina dan diselenggara. Build and maintained by the federal government. State road ni build and maintained by the state. Municipal road ni tak banyak tapi state road ni kalau compare kita ni banyak daripada persekutuan tapi inilah municipal road build and maintained by the local authority. Mungkin jalan tu maintained by Majlis Bandaraya, Lostar ke City Hall ke Dewan Bandaraya Kuala Lumpur ke dan sebagainya. Tak ada lah sikit-sikit jalan dia. Kemudian private road, jalan private ni, jalan kesendirian. Built and maintained by the individuals or private organisation. Contoh nak pergi ke Genting Highland, maintained by the Genting Group, so dia punya dia is a private road. Kemudian reserve lane. Reserve lane ni macam ni, reserve lane. Dia ada 4 lane. One lane ni reserve for the bus and taxi. Katalah jalan Sek Putra ni, tapi yang ni dia belah kanan, kita normally belah kiri. We have a special, kita convert, kita tukarkan one of the lane. Kalau yang ni 4, one ataupun 3 ke, we convert one of the lane ni to be a bus lane. A bus lane yang ni, dia kata bus lane. Bus priority over the other traffic. Dia kata newly built or the existing road, we convert to as a bus lane. Yang boleh separate ni kita ada line kuning ni. So the other drivers ni from the other ni they cannot encroach, tak boleh nak masuk dalam ni. The operation punya bus lane ni dia ada masa dia, not 24 hours. During the morning peak 6 hingga 10 pagi, okay, it become this lane will be converted as a bus lane. Kemudian petang daripada pukul 4 hingga pukul 8 malam. After 8 PM ni, every vehicle can use this lane. Dia punya operation dia. So, dia perbagi keutamaan kepada bus. So, dia punya sampai cepat sikit. Yang ni, yang ni trap dalam traffic jam, but dia punya yang for the bus, they have a very smooth punya movement. Dia punya busway. A clear signage dia kata. A spirit line, yellow line indicator to prevent other mode from using the lane. Kalau guna kadang-kadang bas lalu dia akan horn. Sebab kita keluar. A clear signage or area operation hours. Kita letak. Selalunya awal-awal tu jalan Sek Putra sebelum tu dia akan tengok. Okay. Bus lane daripada masa operation dia berapa. Okay. Bus lane. Kemudian kita ada busway. Ni busway. Just bus. Dia tak ada kongsi dengan siapa. Yang ni kongsi. Mix with other traffic but not on this one. Just dedicated busway. Maksud dedicated ni bus saja guna. Tak ada orang lain guna. They have. Yang ni dekat Brisbane, daripada Brisbane to Holland Park kalau tak salah saya. Pada satu tempat dalam berapa kilometer. 15 kilometer ke berapa. They have the special dedicated lane. So yang ni dia punya movement cepat lah. So by having the busway. Grade separated roadway. Dia memisahkan dengan laluan-laluan lain. Dia asing. It's where we are the mode, the other could not encroach, improve bus movement, overcome condition having track. Bus track, contoh bus rapid transit. Bus rapid transit ada juga yang guna busway, ada juga yang they have their own, kemudian they have to share with the other traffic. Tak apa yang tu. Kemudian dia ada transport carrier unit, dia punya their vehicle itself tu, bus, motor dan sebagainya. Express bus can carry 40, compared to the private car 5 dan sebagainya. Kemudian motif power engine dia lah. Engine dia meter of acceleration, deceleration dan sebagainya. Guna apa yang ni dicampur semua dengan train ni. Bukan takat road transport saja. Then we have the Euro engine, the environmental friendly engine. This one the standard European, they have EU, they have the European emission standard. Tahap pengeluaran asap ni. So define the acceptable limit of exhaust emission of new vehicles. So before you can market your car in the in the EU ni, katalah Ford ke, Merc ke apakah, they have to provide the data. Okay, for our vehicle model ni berapa dia punya carbon dioxide punya release for each kilometer. They have to provide before they are allowed to sell the car in the European country. Law sekarang ni, the last one is Euro 6. Euro 6, dia kata become mandatory for new receive from 31st December 2003 up to the current present time ni. Kalau lepas ni, dia pada more on the electric vehicle, the EV, electric vehicle. Dia nitrogen oxide dan particulate they can reduce on. Dia punya ni, dia punya benefit, but that is for the environment punya. Dia set bukan semata-mata every car can be on road in the EU punya country. Kalau nak sell, you have to follow dia punya standard. You have to maintain standard. Kemudian electric vehicle, yang ni future lah. Electric vehicle run on electric propel motor. Dia ada bateri dia, the charging station, wall outlet to charge, and the advantage dia quiet movement. Senyap dia punya movement dia. No smoke of emission from the tailpipe daripada exhaust punya sistem tu, tak ada lah. And does not require much liquid. Tak payah apa ni, macam minyak transmission, radiator fluid, tak payah lagi. Dia kata just run macam tu saja. Battery, one on battery ni last on average 10,000 mile overall. Satu ni, jangka hayat dia untuk battery ni last for 100,000 mile. Maksud dia 160,000 kilometer. Or is equivalent to 8 years punya life. So, on average, dia run 160. Sekarang ni teknologi, adalah yang satu tu dia kata they can run up to 500 kilometer before another charging kan. But on average, just 160 miles saja. Then you need to recharge. Recharging ni, nak recharge ni repeat charger ni 45 minit, then you will have a full punya recharge. Ataupun slow charger, overnight charging. It take you the whole night before you can have a full punya charging. So this is easy punya, dia dah bagi tahu lah. Beginning 2030 onward, all must be electric vehicle. The downside, kekurangan dia, limited charging station. Kita nak charge, nak pergi ke Ipoh 160-200 km nak kena charge dah. Kat mana nak cari charging ni? Tu tak ada umpamanya, tak ada sekarang. Jadi infrastructure is not complete ni lagi. Charging take a while. Kita nak pergi KL sampai dekat dekat atas Juru sikit tu, we need to charge. Ataupun sampai dekat Taiping, kita 160 kita kena charge. Nak charge pula, kalau sekarang ni, kalau petrol biasa 5 minit siap dah boleh jalan lah. Sekarang ni nak tunggu 45 minit. PP tengok ada orang duk charge lagi, Allah, 45 orang duk tunggulah. Kita bermalam lah di situ. Sebelum kita continue our journey. Itu tak sampai Ipoh Sampai Ipoh kita tunggu lagi. Sampai so kita we have to stop. Just take. Paling teknologi nanti akan ada lah. Teknologi sekarang ni take 50 minutes for the full punya recharge. Initial electric vehicle price is higher. Mahal sikit sekarang ni. Battery replacement mahal. Dia kata 1,000. Kita cakap ni kata 8,000. Mahal juga lah. Kemudian terminal lah. Terminal ni station lah. Station. That is a component lah. Dia kena ada information, dia ada equipment for basic amenities, dia kena macam-macam dia kena ada. Bus stop, station to go for the terminal. Stop, normally bus stop ni, all location along the street, bus stop ambil penumpang. Dia have simple facilities, fine, shelter, bumbung ni, ada bench ni, tempat duduk dan sebagainya. Simple facilities. Station ni besar lah. You live still below or above ground for passenger and system operation. Yang ni station. Station dia ni simple lah, bus stop. Kalau terminal ni is a station juga lah. Terminal ni station akhir. The end station of major transit line. Bus line ke apa ke. Normally kalau macam LRT punya tu dekat Gombak. Dia panggil Gombak Terminal. Because that is the last station. It's a station ya, tapi last transfer station ni macam sahab perdana. Siapa yang guna sahab perdana tu dapat daripada KL, nak balik UM, stop dekat sahab perdana, kemudian you take another bus to KL contohnya. So more than one line, provide passenger interchange among them. Multimode transfer station ni macam KL Central. Ada LRT, ada Intercity, ada macam taxi, macam-macam lah. So by several mode, kereta api ada, bas ada. So dia ada kat situ. Di bus stop, bus garage, depo untuk repair ni. Shop ni for a short time. Duration of repair floor ni it takes mungkin lebih ada di masa dia, mungkin ada setengah kami mungkin kata lebih daripada, saya tak ingat bilang, lebih pada berapa hari you have to send to the floor. Kalau just for a simple punya repair, go to the shop dan sebagainya. You have the control system dan sebagainya. Teknologi kita guna apa macam-macam to track on board computer for communication dan sebagainya. We can communicate with the driver dan sebagainya. Even we can check dia punya sama ada dia deviate, dia lari daripada kita punya laluan ataupun tidak, ni can use that one. Ada soalan apa nak tanya? Any question you want to ask, apa-apa tanya. Apa nak tanya saya? Ada lagi kah? Kau pakai tidur lah, tampang lah. Ada soalan tak? Tak ada soalan. Tak ada soalan. Tak ada soalan, tak apa. Okey, saya nak sambung sikit. Lagi kita berhenti ya. Stop. Mana tak keluar lagi dah. Berapa orang ni? Tak nak. Mana tak keluar lagi. Okey, nampak water sea transport tak? We move on to the water sea transport. Siap ya yang ni. Berapa orang kita tengok hari ni? Berapa orang? Ada 27. Ada 29. Okay, water and sea transport. Okay, these are the learning outcome. At the end of the lesson, you will be able to explain the importance of water transport, differentiate the type of liner, tram service, explain physical services. Semua ni adalah explain a major requirement for such a port. So, water transport ni the first principal form of long distance freight and people transport. And long distance, ingat long distance because during that time dulu ni, this is the only form. Kalau kita can walk, but it is quite difficult if you want to travel between one continent to another continent. Normally, they use the water transport. Daripada Eropah, they sail to US for example. Tahun 15-11 dulu di mana orang Portugis they came to Peninsula, to Melaka dan sebagainya. It's a first form of long distance. They travel because of the unavailability of the, masa tu tak ada lagi the better route dan sebagainya connecting the some of the continent yang boleh sambung lah, tak ada laut tu Itu juga tak ada, there was no air transport services during that time. So they rely on the sea, on the sea ocean to travel between for a long distance, one continent to another continent. And most of the early civilization, they live near to water, dekat dengan air, next to the river, dekat dengan sungai, lake, tasik, muara-muara, sungai, seafront, they live because this water ni, the lake, the river ni provide the source of water, drinking water ke, and they can fish, boleh tangkap ikan, and itulah why they live near to the water. And the city develop. Dulu kalau kita tengok city ni just become a small city, just a small settlement punya area, and then they grow. They expand. They have expanded to be a very big city, metropolitan punya city. Dia kata city dulunya yang mana-mana tengok city tu, they develop along the port, harbour on seacoast, lake, river ni. Macam dulu Istanbul umpamanya, it's just a small punya city, it's a port harbour city, and it is expanded to have university, to have the hospital macam-macam so dah become a very big city punya ni. Itu juga Naples, Lisbon, Rotterdam. Rotterdam ni at one point ni, it was the busiest port in the world. The busiest port during my time when I was dulu masa saya primary school, sekolah rendah tu kita belajar tentang Rotterdam macam ni. So Rotterdam at that time, it was the busiest port in the world. But now it has been undertaken by Singapore port and later by the few ports in China tu. So, but it's still the busiest port in the Europe ni. Rotterdam dulu, Belanda. Kemudian Hamburg, Oslo, become dulu just a small just a port punya just a port Hamburg port dan sebagainya, but now it's become cities, become city macam ni. Kemudian there are few macam city yang located next to the Atlantic coast of the US. Kalau kita tengok dekat sini umpamanya, kita tengok yang kat sini. Kita tengok Boston, yang facing Atlantic. Yang ni semua tepi laut ni. Boston kat sini, kita tengok. Kemudian New York, the busiest city, the biggest city in the world ni. Dekat Atlantic punya ocean. Kemudian we have the Washington DC kat sini. Washington DC ni kena differentiate with the Washington State. Yang ni Washington State. Kat sini negeri Washington. Yang ni capital ibu negara dah. Kat sini. Kemudian kita ada banyak lagi dekat sini Miami kat sini. New Orleans kat Gulf of Mexico. Kemudian dekat sebelah Pacific punya ocean, kita ada Seattle kat Washington ni. Seattle ni pelabuhan lah. Kemudian we have the San Francisco dekat California ni. Begitu juga LA dekat California ni. Kita pelabuhan ni. Ini pelabuhan. Become a big city dekat LA ni lah. Bukan cakap pelabuhan ni, famous for film punya industri ni, Hollywood dekat LA, dekat Los Angeles ni dekat California ni. San Francisco pun sama juga So banyak yang dekat dengan pantai. Kita tengok San Diego, Baltimore, Philadelphia, Harbour City, Zurich, Chicago, Detroit, Toronto, Zurich dekat Switzerland. Dia punya ni dekat tepi Lake Tasik. Chicago dekat the Great Lake. Kita tengok dekat Great Lake yang ni. Great Lake ada 5 Great ni. Kita ada Chicago, Detroit yang ni. Kita ada Dulles pelabuhan ni. Dulles kat Minnesota ni pelabuhan ni. Chicago kat sini bandar besar Detroit ada the big city yang next to the lake. Detroit, Toronto, River City, KL, Brisbane dan sebagainya di River City ni. Kemudian important water transport ni important to the early US and other country economic social development. Dulu memang dia penyumbang besar kepada daripada segi pembangunan ekonomi dan sosial. People move from one place to another place dan sebagainya. Link initial population industrial construct along coast and river. Many big cities located along the coast the river ni. In the US presently sekarang ni there are 26,000 navigable kilometer of waterway dekat US. 26 maksudnya 26,000 kilometer sungai-sungai di US ni dia utilize to carry goods dan sebagainya. Dia ada 26 yang boleh kita pergi maksudnya navigable yang boleh kita mudiki dia panggil apa ni. 26,000 navigable kilometer. And waterway are natural way. Waterway are natural way. The ocean, the sea ni natural. The river natural juga except for the man-made river lah. Yang jalan, kalau sungai tu betul dia tu selalunya man-made river lah. Kalau yang Puchin kata tu is a natural way, a natural punya river. And they move to using the nature punya ni, motive power dia. They use the current. Current ni arus sungai, arus laut kan. Wind, udara dia guna sail dia tu, layar dia tu. Dia adjust lah to the wind punya ni, to move the vessel ni dulu. Sekarang pun ada lah, but normally they use for recreational punya. Sekarang dah ada mesin, enjin dan sebagainya. So natural waterway ni, you don't have to construct. Tak payah nak bina, dah ada dah, except you have to do the dredging lah. Area dekat estuary tu, dekat port tu, because normally the port ni dia located near to the estuary, muara tu. So dia akan mendap ni, so what they do is they have to do the dredging punya activity. Macam port Klang tu ada dredging punya activity to allow ship to burst at the wharf tu. Kalau tidak, dia tak boleh nak serving, dia tak boleh nak bukan mendarat, berlabuh, dia tak boleh berlabuh because of the shallow punya passage tu, laluan yang cetek. So kena buat juga yang ni, walaupun it's a natural way, because the ship become bigger and bigger, they require a deeper draft. The normal draft ni macam Port Klang mungkin dalam 14 meter saja. Kalau kapal besar lagi mungkin tak boleh berlabuh dekat Port Klang. This is just nak mention, tak payah nak hafal. The longest river ni tak payahlah, tak ingat, saya tak payah hafal lah. River. Ni dekat US, Jefferson Mississippi Missouri River System. They utilize, as we mentioned just now, they have 26,000 navigable punya waterways. So dia guna daripada dulu lagi the settler use river as for major fur travelling route dan sebagainya, canoeing, hunting and drawing water. They were used from this river. Beginning 1930s, government facilitated the navigation of the system waterways. Government dia improve the waterway system ni by building and maintaining several canal and several river ni. So they utilize Jefferson Mississippi macam tengok yang sini. It is used primarily for industrial transportation, carrying agriculture, manufacturing goods, iron, steel, mine product from one end of the country to the other end. Kalau kita tengok ni Mississippi River, two major stretches, dia handle 460 million, 420 million of metric ton of cargo, of freight every year. Large barge ni, tongkang-tongkang, kapal-kapal besar ni, pushed by the tugboat are the most common way of getting things around. So dia bawa the log ni, apa nama tu, balak dan sebagainya. So dia kata the immense commerce that take place, okay, kita akan foster the growth of countless city. Banyak bandar-bandar besar along the Jefferson Missouri river system ni. New Orleans ke apa ni, macam-macam kalau kita tengok ni, St. Louis kat sini. Dia punya bandar Memphis dekat sini, dekat tepi dengan sungai. Natchez, ingat Natchez Trace tu, macam-macam kat sini, macam dia punya ni, bandar-bandar yang besar-besar ni. New Orleans kat sini lah, dekat pelabuhan lah, kat luar lah. Lake Caspian Sea ni is a lake ni pun tak payah hafal lah, ni saja nak tunjukkan. Okay, this is the Great Lake ni. Besar daripada Perlis ni, daripada Kedah ni, Superior Lake, Michigan Lake, Huron Lake, dia sempadan antara Kanada dan juga US ni. Erie Lake, Ontario Lake, yang ni, dia have a big, and there are many big ship flying this lake ni. Banyak kapal yang guna dalam lake besar ni, kapal-kapal besar ni. Okay, saya lenguh sekejap besok ni. Banyak ni tak cover ni. Sekejap kita nak habis, habis ni. Lepas yang mana? Sekejap. Okay, a primary transporter of dry bulk community. Water transport ni. Water transport is a primary transporter of dry bulk community. Maksud dry bulk community ni, dry ni kering lah, bulk ni pukal. Maksudnya banyak. Community ni lah. Macam grain, biji rin gandum ke, ataupun jagung ke ni, coal. arang batu ataupun biji besi ni. So dia bawa ni, so kapal-kapal boleh bawa dry bulk. Dan juga liquid bulk. Liquid bulk ni cecair lah. Liquid bulk. Bulk ni pukal ni banyak lah bentuk pukal untuk banyak bulk petroleum. Kapal ni kita tak bawa 1 liter, 2 liter. We carry banyak, thousand, million of liters kita bawa through the by using the vessel ni. Bulk petroleum product, chemical dan sebagainya. International shipping is responsible for the carriage of the 90% of the world trade. 90% of the world trade ni they rely on the water transport ni, the sea transport ni 90%. 80 sebenarnya, 80 ke 90 lah, 85 sekarang ni dah guna air transport dan sebagainya. Dia kata market share decline in 1980s due to the economy changing from manufacturing to service based, because when they calculate they include on the service punya industry also, hotel dan sebagainya. And the supply chain orientation emphasizes faster mode. Setengah product require a faster mode, they use the air transport. That's why the market share for the traditional shipping ni dia down. Introduction. Water transport in terms of dari segi sustainability environment punya ni is the second most efficient form of transport in terms of energy cost per unit of output compared to the rail. Rail is the most efficient lah. Mean that they use less energy but they can carry more product. Water is number 2. Macam air transport ni they spend a lot of energy to carry few product just 21% kalau kita compare dari segi energy cost per ringgit of dollar output ni banyak dia spend. And they charge the shipping rate ni, the shipping rate fluctuate, dia berbeza based on the supply and demand. When there is more supply, the rate will go down, and when there is more demand, for example, the rate will go out, the kadar charge dia tu. And it also depend on the competition. Competition maksudnya persaingan lah. Kalau persaingan banyak, okay, the rate will stable, go down. Kalau there is less competition, the rate will, kalau dia monopoli, the rate will go up dan sebagainya. And it also depend on the world economy. If the world economy is okay, prosper dan sebagainya, there will be demand more on the product, the other product. Indirectly, there will be more demand on the transportation services. The shipping punya services. It's all depend, as we mentioned during the first punya kelas tu. Transport is a derived demand. It also depend on the rate of diesel gas. When the rate of diesel gas up, the rate will also go up, and the risk, social political condition, the risk. Katalah for negara at mana-mana negara at war, you have to deliver. Normally the shipping company will charge for a higher punya freight rate, shipping rate, because to cover the risk tu. Risiko tinggi, so they will charge for the higher punya rate. Service, there are 2 type of service. One is the liner ship, the other one is the tram service. Tram ship. Liner ship ni, liner ship dia ada 2 lah. Satu dia operate liner, dia panggil liner type of shipping ni liner, operate on a pre-established schedule with determined port of call. Yang ni liner ship ni dia dah schedule awal-awal, dia dah bagi tahu dah, okey, dia belayar kat mana, bila nak pergi, what is the port of call, tempat nak berhenti port mana, daripada KL daripada Port Klang dia nak berhenti Singapore Port Singapore, kemudian dia nak pergi ke mana lagi, dia mention bila bertolak, semua dah publish dah. Dia macam bas lah, teknologi ni contoh lah. Bas ni kata bas daripada from the Sahab Perdana, okey, dia akan bertolak pukul berapa, so customer tahu dah 9.30 pagi, dia akan stop dekat mana, wajib stop dia, stesen Jitra umpamanya. So that is a port of call lah, contoh lah, ni analogi dia lah, bukanlah bas tu liner ship. Bas tu tak ada apa dicontoh. Tram ship pula operate whenever the market dictate. It depend. Dia operate like macam taxi. Taxi hari ni kita kata kita nak pergi Arau. Esok bawa kita ke Alor, lusa bawa kita ke Changlun umpamanya. So dia operate whenever the market dictate. No fixed schedule, tak ada fixed schedule. Kita nak Kalau kita nak ekspor barang, umpamanya kita nak ekspor ke mana-mana, kita tengok liner ship ke tram ship. Kita nak guna. So, yang liner ni dia ada jadual, yang tram ship ni kita deal direct with the company ni. Kita ada, okay, kita nak tolak bilang kena ambil barang dan sebagainya. Ni pun terminologi size order vessel, tuan-tuan baca lah saya ingat yang ni. Dead weight ton ni, maximum weight, jumlah, maximum keberat, weight, berat the ship can carry, jumlah paling tinggi maximum. Later the ship also carry bunker and store. The maximum weight that a ship can actually carry is lower than the dead weight tonnage. So dia kena tolak lah yang ni. Maksudnya yang ni the maximum weight the ship can carry. Bunker ni apa dia? Bunker ni the amount of fuel the ship carry on board that it need to travel. Minyak. Minyak apa. The store ni all supplies that ship carry that it need to function. Maksud dia makanan lah, air lah, apalah semua ni ada ni, this is the store. Terus tuan-tuan baca lah yang ni displacement pun tuan-tuan baca. Okay. Kalau kita sebut tentang mother vessel ni large ship lah, kapal besar ni. Capable of carry more than 10,000 TEUs. 20 equivalent unit container ni. Called at major port and it require deeper draft. Kapal ni besar ni. Kedalaman dia tu dia nak lagi dalam. Call on major port. Port-port yang besar saja. Port kecil macam dekat Lumut macam tu tak. Ni kat Penang mungkin dia tak masuk dan sebagainya. Feeder vessel, small ship capable of handling 300 to 500 TEUs, operate between major port and small port, normally for short voyage saja. So yang ni feeder vessel ni kapal kecil. Dia ambil daripada mother vessel, katalah mother vessel ni burst dekat Port Klang, daripada Port Klang ni feeder vessel akan ambil, dia akan hantar dekat Pelabuhan Lumut ke ataupun pergi dekat Penang Port dan sebagainya. Okey, size ni saya nak tunjuk tentang Plimsoll Mark and Load Line. Plimsoll Mark and Load Line ni. Yang ni. Dia kata Plimsoll Line, a line painted on hull to show ship draft. How did it sit in the water in different water condition. Different water condition ni dia have a different density. Tutupatannya lain. So kita nak tengok sekarang ni. Ni dia Plimsoll Mark and Load Line ni. Kita tengok yang ni, kita tengok typical fresh water, fresh salt water, salt water in summer, salt water in winter North Atlantic. Kalau kita selam umpamanya, kadang-kadang dalam laut tu kita kena letak barang bagi berat sikit, kita tak boleh nak selam. Dia akan timbul dari badan kita dan sebagainya. So itu je kapal ni kapal ni tengok ada different punya density, different water ni. Kalau yang ni tropical fresh water ni sikit, yang ni dia ketepatannya lagi tinggi dah. So the load line, water line marking on ship is marking to ensure that the ship is not overloaded, tak terlebih muatan, and it has sufficient freeboard. Dia mempunyai freeboard yang mencukupi. Saya tak mau dia punya ni freeboard. Ni draft dia, kedalaman dia, draft dia, freeboard. They have to ensure the sufficient freeboard. Kalau tidak kapal tertenggelam. Itu juga the draft, if not they cannot burst on specific port dan sebagainya. So they have to have a balance, freeboard and the draft ni. No overloaded, sufficient indicate the maximum safe draft, maximum safe draft yang ni. So who determine the load line ni, water line? Classification Society determine the location of the Plimsoll line after surveying the ship. Satu syarikat lain yang akan menentukan location, bukan sebarangan orang boleh tentukan yang ni. Dia ada, dipanggil Classification Society. They come during the inspection, during the construction, look into the construction, the material dan sebagainya. Okay, dia kata kat sini. Dia Classification Society ni akan tentukan. Different secret different. So Classification Society. Classification ni satu syarikat lah, kalau tuan-tuan pernah dengar ni LR ni. Yang ni maksud dia LR yang do serving the ship ni. Lloyd registered. Satu company ni. Classification Society lah. Kalau pernah dengar Lloyd registered, American Bureau of Shipping, Bureau Veritas, all these are the Classification Society. Kat Malaysia pun ada. There are 100 over classification society in the world ni. Malaysia ada satu dan sebagainya. So these are the ni, they do business. Dia kata classification society ni set technical rule. Confirm the design and calculation meet this rule. Survey shape and structure during the process of construction and commission, and periodically survey vessels to ensure they continue to meet the rule. Yang ni, this is the role of the classification society. They set technical rule, bahan apa nak guna. Bukan cakap nak buat kapal kan, nak buat platform minyak pun, okay, this kami ni involved. Dia bukan check, okay, betul tak betul, dia bina dan sebagainya. Lloyd Register ni lama lah, yang the world first shipping was the world first shipping, the oldest punya classification society. Dia kata society also validate that concept is according to the standard and carry out regular survey. Dan sebagainya. So this is dia punya. Size of the vessel. Kita pergi sekejap ni, kemudian we stop. Okay, size kategori handy size 10,000 and 50,000. This size handy size. Kalau Panamax ni, the ship of the maximum size that can enter the lock of Panama Canal. Panama Canal nanti saya explain lock of Panama Canal. This vessel carry 4,000 to 5,000 TEUs. Dia punya Panamax ni. Kalau post Panamax tak boleh. They are too large to enter the lock of Panama Canal. Yang ni dia kata they occupy 30% of the world fleet is the post-Panamax punya vessel. Yang ni, post-Panamax. Post-Panamax ni tak boleh masuk Panama Canal. Panama Canal ni, kalau tuan-tuan nak tengok, Panama Canal ni. Okay, Panama Canal ni, yang ni. Panama Canal, they cut the distance ni. Kalau nak pergi ke New York City, kalau nak pergi San Francisco, kalau lalu habis kat sini, sampai ujung Cape of apa ni, so it takes you 20,900 km. But only 370 km je just to pass the Panama Canal. Panama Canal dia ada banyak lock dia ada Pedromica, Gatin lock, Gato lock dan sebagainya. Kita tengok, okay. The function of lock ni is to level the water. Nak bagi samakan level, nak bagi samakan air. Sebab nak move from Pacific Ocean to the Atlantic Ocean ni. Pacific to the Atlantic Ocean ni, you see a different punya water level. How a ship nak move from this area to the other. So dia akan masuk ke sini, they will lower down the lock ni, kapal masuk this area. Then they will put the lock and they will fill in the water. Kemudian they will release the water from this area pula. Kemudian they move on dan sebagainya. So through this way they can cross from the Pacific Ocean to the Atlantic Ocean punya yang ni. So dia punya function dah. Just nak tunjuk yang dia punya ni, dia punya apa ni. Dia punya lock, yang kata lock. Too large, dia pun tak boleh nak masuk lock tu. Kalau tak saya tunjuk kalau boleh. Kalau ada gambar lah. Saya delete keluar. Tak ada dah dalam ni. Tak ada gambar. Tak apa. Lock. Tuan-tuan boleh tengok dalam ni lah. Dalam internet ada tengok tu lock, nanti dia bagi tahulah. Kemudian kita ada Malacca Mac. West Mac pun ada. Classification Society. First Overseer, Panamax, Post Panamax. Malacca Mac, the largest ship capable of passing through the Strait of Malacca. Ni apa? Selat Malacca. Malacca Mac vessel are typically bulker and supertanker which are referred to very large crude carrier RCC. Dia punya kedalaman aircraft reach of 25 meters. However, the current permission dia boleh tengok sini. Suez Mac, ship of the business that can go through Suez Canal. Suez Mac vessel are introduced tak apalah yang tu. This size nak tunjuk size saya. Post Suez Mac ni yang tak boleh lalu. Dia kata no project dia too big to for the vessel to pass. Cape size kecil very large besar, ultra large carrier pun lagi besar. Main shipping route, Panama Canal. Kita tengok Panama Canal ni. Controlled solely by United States. It was controlled by United States. Then they have a joint agency. But now it's completely controlled by the Republic of Panama. The Republic of Panama, they get income from the Panama Canal ni. That ship, they have to pay for a fee. The length is 65 kilometer. It take between 8 to 10 hours to cross the canal. So dia kata shorten the voyage, mengurangkan jarak perjalanan, sailing between east to west coast by 8,000 nautical miles, by 15,000 km. Itu dia Asia dan sebagainya. Suez Canal is artificial juga. This one is artificial. Artificial ni man-made lah. Kita buat sendiri, kita sambung dia punya tasik-tasik dan sebagainya. Buat apa macam sungai dan sebagainya. Is an open cut without lock. Ni tak ada lock, but they have to pass several lakes. Shorten voyage by 7,000 kilometer. The ship take between 11 to 6 hours, 16 hours to cross the canal ni. Yang ni. Ini Strait Malacca, Selat Melaka ni. Selat Melaka lah. Selat Melaka saat kita shorten the voyage, kita boleh baca lah. The ship take between 8 to 10 hours to cross the canal. Yang ni. Yang ni bukan dia ni kot. Ni tadi ni bukan dia. Ni sepatutnya kena buang. Ni tak ada ni. Dia punya ni less than that, bukan 10 ni. Ni salah ni. Saya ingat dia tak sampai 8 ni. 8 tu tak boleh ada few hours saya ni. Ni pasal apa ni? Even though katalah from Japan, from China ni, to deliver goods to the Europe. Why they still use a longer punya distance through the Suez Canal route ni? Pasal apa they don't follow this one through the Greenland punya area dan sebagainya? One of the reason, the main reason is because of the weather, cuaca kawasan ni laut ni beku you cannot pass through dan sebagainya especially during the winter season punya musim sejuk memang beku betul, tak boleh nak pergi. Ni jarak dia. Ni kemudian lah. Saya ni kemudian. Ada apa-apa nak tanya saya? Before we stop. Fazilah dah last meeting. Any question? Fazilah, itulah Fazilah kadang problem dia punya internet dah. Tak apa, sekejap ada macam biskut kecil semua. Ada nak tanya saya apa sebelum kita stop? Do you have any question before we stop? Aduh, saya sakit belakang pasal apa tu. Any question before we stop? Fazilah tak masuk balik dah. So, any question? Ask me, do you have any question before we stop? Sebelum kita berhenti, ada apa-apa nak tanya? Siapa sebelum nak ni, ada apa nak tanya saya? Sebelum nak berhenti, ada apa-apa? Okey, scan. Apa tak scan lagi? Ada beberapa orang dalam kelas sekarang ni. Siapa nak scan? Siapa yang nak buat manual? Siapa nak ni manual? Beritahu saya. Rahmadani. Nurul Natasha. Okey, lagi? Siapa lagi? Muhammad Badrul Amin. Muhammad Nur Fazilah. Rahmadani Muhammad Faisal. Siapa lagi? Siapa lagi? Tak ada dah yang tu. Okey, sekarang kita ada 26 orang. 26 orang. 26 orang. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 5. Siapa? Ada soalan tak? Tak ada, kita berhenti ya. Okey, kalau tak ada, tuan-tuan boleh tinggalkan kelas. So kita jumpa lagi next week insyaAllah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you,
Terima kasih,
Dada.
sir.
Sama-sama.
Thank you, sir.
Ayah sama.
Terima kasih